Anything else you want to say to your fans, man?
Man, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation. You know, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, Errol Spence Jr., my whole name, and just look out for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push for them. If they gotta give it a shot or they gotta vacate or whatever, but somebody gonna give me something.
Oh, you gonna be on that hashtag, just give me my belts, huh?
Just give me my belt, man.
Golovkin,
Give me my belts, man. Oh yeah, there ain't no excuses. I mean, any fight can happen. It just take both of the fighters. If they both fighters agree to the fight gonna happen.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, well, thanks for your time. I look forward to seeing you in your eliminated
But a lot of people ducking, man, you know.
What's up?
Say a lot of people ducking.
A lot of people ducking. Tell it, hey, go ahead. Hey, speak the truth, man. Go ahead and put it out there. I got your t-shirt. I gave you a t-shirt. You remember at the MGM?
It was him.
I thought, okay.
You did give me a t-shirt.
Yeah. Hey, you got to rock one for me, man. Throw it on Instagram or something, man.
Give him one.
Okay, I got you. I got both of you. What size?
Lord.
I got you. Don't even worry about it. You don't even trip. Yep. Hey, thanks for your time, brother. Anything else you want to say, man?
Nothing, man. Just keep supporting me, man. I'm gonna turn up and get the IBF belt. Then I'm gonna get the other belts. Then become undisputed welterweight champion.
That's what it is, my man. Errol Spence, the truth.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Matter of fact, before I report this news, let me go ahead and announce on Monday I will be having a special guest on the radio show, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. This man is one of the best, and when I tell you he's one of the best prospects in boxing right now, and that's Anthony Yarde, undefeated light heavyweight. So go ahead and tune in, guys. You can also call in if you guys want to ask him some questions or ask me some questions. Go ahead and tune in. I'll have the phone number on the screen when we do the show live. Once again, that's at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, right here, live on Dante's Boxing Nation. So according to Kell Brook's promoter, Eddie Hearn, he believes that it is a 70 to 80% chance that Kell Brook will fight the truth, Errol Spence, next. Eddie Hearn is supposed to have a meeting with Kell Brook tomorrow, and they're supposed to make a decision. So hopefully we find out if this is official tomorrow or not. So Team Spence, which is trainer Derek James and of course Errol Spence, they responded to what Eddie Hearn just recently said, and I'm gonna go ahead and quote exactly what Derek James had to say. But first things first, let me give a shout out to Coach Derek James. I still got your shirts over here, man, so I'm gonna send them out to you. Matter of fact, you can hit me up on my email, man, so I could go ahead and get them shirts out to you. But I could have swore I gave you and Errol Spence a shirt when y'all came out here to the MGM Grand. But anyway, I'm gonna send some more out to you for sure, man. So with that being said, let me go and quote what Coach Derek James had to say about this news of this fight possibly coming to fruition. Quote, "That's good to hear, but he hasn't really got a choice. We've heard about the fight, the Khan fight he's talking about, but we're not concerned with that because Eddie Hearn does say a lot of different things. Kell Brook wanted the Khan fight and be champion, but if he wants to stay champion, he's got to fight Errol. We're happy about it. We've worked a long time to get where we are, and the outcome has made us happy. I can tell you, it's going to be a pretty good fight. We're expecting it to happen in the next 3 to 4 months, and fighting in the UK is not a problem at all." End quote. Now, Coach Derek James, he will go on to basically say he's only watched one fight of Kell Brook, and that was the Golovkin fight. He says he's a good fighter, but he ain't, and I quote, "he ain't phenomenal." He said that it's not personal that they're chasing Kell Brook. They just want what Kell Brook has, which is the title, of course. So that's pretty much what it is. Once again, there's really no excuses for Kell Brook not to take this fight anymore. He wanted the Amir Khan fight, and even Amir Khan said, there's no reason for us to fight if you're going to give up the belt. Because even Amir Khan was saying he wants to fight for the belt. So he was like, go ahead and fight your mandatory, then I'll fight the winner. So Kell Brook can't use the Amir Khan excuse. He can't use the excuse that Errol Spence won't come to the UK because you just heard Errol Spence's trainer say, we'll definitely come to the UK. They have no problem with that. On top of all of that, Kell Brook stands to make 75% of the split when it comes to the purse. And we know that this is going to be a big fight. This is going to be a big fight. Those are just code words when you hear people say stuff like, oh, this guy's not a name. All that means, that's the oldest trick in the book. When you hear people say stuff like that, that usually means the opponent is extremely dangerous and we may not be able to beat him. That's what it means when you hear people say that kind of stuff. So tomorrow we're going to figure out if Kell Brook is going to surrender and hand his belt over to Errol Spence, or is he going to try to fight his way out and defend his title? And you know, I've already said this before, but I want to say it again for some of you guys that have said this in the comment section. When some of you guys try to defend Kell Brook by saying or asking the question, how can he be ducking Errol Spence if he moved up to fight against Gennady Golovkin? I keep explaining and telling you guys, number one, styles make fights. Number two, Kell Brook, he completely understood that if he moved up 2 weight classes, he's a massive underdog. If he loses to Golovkin, it's okay because he was expected to lose. He was supposed to lose. It was a David and Goliath situation, right? And on top of that, he got a huge payday for that. So it was win-win for Kell Brook. In a way, it was more lose-lose for Gennady Golovkin because he was beating a welterweight. Now, unless Golovkin would have just went in there and destroyed him in the first round and didn't leave any room for criticism, that would probably be a different situation. Now, when you look at the Kell Brook versus Errol Spence situation in contrast to the Golovkin situation, it's entirely different. Because if Kell Brook goes in there and he gets smashed and destroyed by a guy who fights in the same weight class as Kell Brook, who has less experience than Kell Brook, and a guy that Kell Brook has been accused of ducking, if you lose to someone like that, that is a lose-lose situation for Kell Brook. And Kell Brook, he understands this. Now, before I end this video, let me go back to the first point I was making when I said styles make fights. I'm going to end this video with a very rhetorical question that if you know anything about boxing and you're answering this question in your heart, then we all know the answer to the question. Let's just say hypothetically, you had all of these great fighters that I'm about to name all in the same division. They're all naturally the same size in the same division. Let's say you have fighters like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Vasyl Lomachenko, Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward, and Gennady Golovkin. If a fighter was looking for the easiest guy that he thought, or let's just say the guy he thought he had the best chance of beating out of those list of fighters, who do you think that fighter would pick? It's a rhetorical question. We already know the answer. So the point is, just because you're willing to move up in weight to fight a bigger guy who may be stronger or whatever the case may be, doesn't necessarily mean that automatically means he's a harder guy to beat. I said this in my previous videos. Remember, Carl Frampton, he had an option to either move up in weight, just like Kell Brook, by the way. He had an option to either move up in weight or face his mandatory. You know who his mandatory was? His mandatory was Guillermo Rigo. So what did he do? He decided to move up in weight and face a bigger Leo Santa Cruz than a naturally smaller Guillermo Rigondeaux. So does that mean Carl Frampton gets more credit because he was willing to move up in weight and face a bigger guy? Of course not. Same thing happened with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was asking Gennady Golovkin to come down to 155 and fight him, but then all of a sudden when the Chavez fight was on the table, he decided to go all the way up to 164 to fight Julio Cesar Chavez, who might weigh 180 to 200 pounds the night of the fight. Okay? Styles make fights. This is why fighters are willing to move up in weight and face a guy who they think or deem as easier than a guy in their own division. So that's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.